You see, whatever you're doing, however you spend your time, that tells you who you are. So think about what it is you like to do in your life experience. Once I look at how you commit your time, once I do an evaluation on how you spend your time, I can tell you exactly what you're committed to. People that say they have dreams or want to open a business or want to do something differently than what they're now doing, they don't like their jobs, they're unhappy, they're unfulfilled. People who say they want to improve their income level, look at how they spend their time. How they spend their time, the commitment of their time, how they use that, that will really tell the truth. People who said, I'd like to do better, but you don't find them in vocational or technical schools, upgrading their skills and their knowledge, how they spend their time, that will tell you what's going on. People who say they want to normalize their weight, they want to be healthy, but every time you see them, they're eating. That will tell you that they're committed to being obese for the rest of their lives. People tell you they want to stop smoking and they're lighting up at that time. Folks that say, I want to stop drinking, and every time you're in their face, they're reeking with alcohol. That will tell you what's going on. Don't have to listen to what they say. Just watch what they do. Commitment shows up in your life in what you do. On the other hand, you can make the commitment to your life that you don't like the results that you have, and that you're going to do something about it.
Woo! And now we are going to do something about it. Good morning, dreamers. Rise and shine. Happy Friday. As you can see, TGIF, even though it is absolutely pouring down, the growth includes Friday. Rain, snow, sleet. It doesn't matter. We're going to go ahead and keep the growth continuing. So I'm excited. I'm fired up, ready to go ahead and get into today's topic. We've got so many amazing things going down this week, this month. So it's safe to say we've started August off with a bang already, coming into almost that halfway mark, and I'm so grateful to see it. So before we get into today's topic, as everybody can see, we're going to be talking about the hero's journey, part not one, part two. So super excited. Shane and Talene in the building. Mr. Cedric, I love it. JoJo, super proud of everybody. It's been a great week so far. Actually, just took the family to go ahead and get her teeth fixed. Today's a very special day. Been waiting for this day for a long time. So there's definitely a lot to be grateful for. So what's everybody grateful for as we get into today's topic? Drop it down below, and we're going to go ahead and get started for today. IG, you're not going to want to miss this one. The Hero's Journey, part dos. Awesome. So here we go. Grateful for God. So thankful to be alive. We've been diving into these morning rituals, these morning routines for 300. It's crazy to think Shane's already busted through that 400 mark, but today is day 387. Getting the feelings down, really getting clear on the vision, writing it plain so those that see it can pick it up and run with it. And to see you all staying so consistent, this is my new high. This is my new addiction, to be able to see others grow, step into the highest version. So it's a big month. Cedric is on the road traveling. I see you, brother. So grateful for the dream team. So grateful for these skill sets. So thankful for even right now, no matter what is going on. And this comes down to perspective, right? This came from growth. This comes from learning. I'm still getting better every day, but figuring out how, no matter what's happening in life, like even with this rainstorm right now, how can we find the positive? How can we find the silver lining inside of the storm? Because here's what we all know, right? Eventually, even though life might seem like it's raining, right? Things might be happening, curveballs might be coming. After every single storm, there's always a rainbow, and no storm lasts forever. So if you feel like life is hitting like a brick right now, if you feel like life seems really overwhelming, I'm here to tell you that no storm lasts forever. This is nothing but a season of growth, a season of really getting deep within ourselves and really figuring out our purpose. So understand that everything has a purpose, right? Matt Rosa talked about it from one of his Sunday sessions. Struggle has its purpose. So I want to get that message out for today before we go ahead and get started, but let's go ahead and get into it. I got a big topic for today. Eric in the building, Chris, the real Black legend. It's good to see you. So here's my topic. You ready? The hero's journey, part 2. All right. And I want to give you guys something that actually came from our mentor. And this is a game changer, right? This is somebody who's got years of experience, who's spoken on 40 plus different stages, different countries, stages around the world, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, one of Bob Proctor's direct mentees for 20 plus years, right? So let me go ahead and show you guys this, right? If you have your piece of paper, go ahead and draw this out as we get through it. It was too much to put on my whiteboard, so I couldn't draw it out for you guys, but I'm going to give it to you verbally. You ready? I'm going to go ahead and write them as we go. Here we go. The first thing, when it comes to starting out on this journey that we're all on of entrepreneurship, of really becoming the highest version, there's a process, right? There's a process that we all end up growing through. That here's the deal. If you can understand it, if you can understand it, everything is going to make so much more sense, right? All of the hard times, the rainy days, the snowy days, they're going to really be able to put into perspective. So I promise you, pay attention to this training. This is crucial, right? And exciting enough, he's actually going to be diving deep on this on the weekend coming up soon. So I'm going to be dropping that link, but I want to give you guys a little preface of what it is that I've been able to gain. You ready? So let's get into it. First thing is the awakening. The first step along all of our journeys, if you really pay attention, the first step was the awakening. When we first initially got started, right, to realizing that we can actually make money from our phone, we can actually learn multiple digital streams of income. We don't have to just be stuck clocking into a 9 to 5 for 40 years and calling that life, right? We can go out and create a life by design. We can go out and give back to our family in abundance. So the first step, I believe, is starting out with kind of the awakening, right? Step number 2 is going to be starting to go ahead and craft that vision, right? You see, when I was living out of my car, I wasn't big into personal development at the time. I wasn't huge on note taking. In fact, I was terrible at it actually in school. But when I finished, I started to see from personal development how many skill sets that a lot of us have naturally that we don't even notice, right? Some of you guys, you're already great at reading. You already have phenomenal discipline at the gym. When you get interested in something, you go all in. So many of us have so many tendencies naturally for successful individuals. I believe it's just about learning those extra details and crafting that sword, crafting that vision for ourselves, right? So step number 1 is the awakening. Step 2 is crafting that vision, right? Starting to actually build, what does the dream body look like? What do our dream finances look like? What do we want our connection with our creator to actually continue to be and grow into? What kind of value do we want to give to society? Step number 3 is conquering approval of addiction. Now, this is huge, right? I don't care who you are. I don't care what sport we're talking about. I don't care what niche that we're looking into. Everybody has to grow and gets to grow through the addiction of other people's approval, right? Think about it. Any movie star puts out a movie, you don't think they're conscious about what other people are going to think about their acting skills. But here's the truth. The difference is they started to get to a point where they don't really care, right? Jim Carrey, think about it. Somebody who could act so goofy doesn't care what anybody else thinks because he knows what his talent can go out and bring out to the world. So this comes down to really conquering the fears of addiction to other people's approval. I had this in every area. I was worried about what people were saying at the beginning about when I was trading, even starting out into e-commerce, starting a brand on social media. Matter of fact, if you scroll down to my Instagram, you go all the way down to the bottom, you'll see at the beginning, I didn't even want to put out my face. I was so worried about putting out my image. I didn't want to put out my face. So you know what I did? I went on Google and I found lion images with quotes, and I threw that on my posts. And that's how I started putting out inspiration, putting out motivation. But I got to a point where I finally started to realize, what am I worried about what anybody else is going to say? And you know what? I got so much confidence. I said, you know what? Even though I'm going through one of the toughest times of my life, I'm ready to go ahead and make the switch. And I started thinking about my dream body, my dream finance. You know what I did? I literally, at my college, I applied for one of the physique competitions inside of my school. And then I ended up winning. So I had a whole transformation journey, and I went through every one of these steps I'm going to go through today. Okay? So here's step number 4. Go ahead and write these down if you guys are with me. Drop 1, 2, and 3 if you guys are taking notes. And let's go ahead and get into number 4. You ready? Here's the 4th one. Here's the kicker. Facing fears, right? Number 4 is going to be facing fears. False. Who can tell me the acronym for fears? What does fear stand for? Go ahead and let me know down in the chat. There's 2 acronyms that we have for fear. We have a positive one and we have a negative one. Who's been doing their homework? Who knows this? Who knows either side? False evidence appearing real, right? That's the negative side. And then we have the other one. Face everything. Cedric got it? Face everything and rise. So I want you to think about how many things are we fearful about in our life? And what if we were to go ahead and put that shift on it, spin that a little bit? You're afraid to go to the gym? Let's run at it. We're afraid to change the diet? Let's run at it. We're afraid to go ahead and meet somebody in person today and go ahead and create a relationship? Let's go ahead and run at it and rise. Y'all good? No worries, right? But I want you to start thinking about this into perspective. I was scared to public speak, right? I was the type of person who used to sit in the back of the classroom, not take notes, until I started to realize getting around my mentors, getting around the 1%ers, they were the type of people, you know what they did? They sat in the front of the classroom, attentive, notebook out, pen out, ready to take notes, ready to learn, ready to go ahead and soak in that information, then go off and apply it, then go off and run with it, right? I was afraid to go ahead and make a trading account, spend my live money that I worked really hard for. We're all so used to spending money. The problem is not a lot of us know what to do with it. So I was scared investing my money into crypto. I was scared investing my money into a live trading account. I was scared investing into ads. You know what I noticed? Living in a life of fear, not taking risk. Who can tell me what the biggest risk in life is? The biggest risk in life is not taking a risk. So I started thinking about it. What am I so afraid of all these things for? Let's just go out and take the risk. Let's go out and start speaking to people. Let's go out and make that video. Let's go out and throw that event. Let's go out and say hello to that person out in public. Shake hands, look them in the eye, and give them a little bit of our energy and pour into them for the day. That's number 4. You either take the risk or the risk takes you. We either run the day or the day runs us. I love it. Huge. Ready? Here's number 5. Let's keep it moving. Moving around the circle. Number 5 is going to be self-talk initiation, right? Self-talk. Here's what I've noticed. Got this from my mentor as well. Pay attention. This is big. A lot of us, 97, 99% of people, we think the same 60% of thoughts every single day, and 80% of them are negative. Think about that. If a lot of us were dominating with negative thoughts yesterday, today, odds are, if we don't do anything to go ahead and shift that, we're going to be going through that same cycle, that same habitual behavior, and we're probably going to live the same emotions that we felt yesterday. And that's how I was living my life. I was so upset. Why do I feel so aggravated? Why do I feel so frustrated every day? Because I wasn't doing the necessary actions to go ahead and change my perspective, to go ahead and rewire my mindset. So you know what I did? Instead of listening to music all the time, I started listening to audios. Instead of getting distracted, I started picking up books. Instead of scrolling on social media, I started finding mentors to go ahead and pay attention, take notes, and learn. Right? Self-talk. They say if people heard the words that we spoke alone, they would be speechless because of how crazy we talk to ourselves. You're not good enough. You're not going to be able to make it happen. Your dream body's not possible. What happens when we make a shift? QLQ, right? Let's give ourselves a QLQ. What's a QLQ? Well, QLQ is a quantum linguistic question, right? They say questions will take us anywhere that we want to go. So let's ask ourselves a quantum linguistic question. What does life look like when we step into the highest version of ourselves? What does life look like when I start taking care of my body? What does life look like when I get serious about my finance and I really plug in for the month of August, getting on the Go Live, asking questions, being present, right? Really, really being a student. And let your higher self answer that question. What does life look like? What does life feel like? What do you wake up? What type of energy do you wake up vibrating with every single day, right? All of these things are crucial. And it starts with questions, right? Self-talk. Looking in the mirror. You know what the problem with most people is? Most people, when they look in the mirror, they immediately look for the flaw. What's wrong? What's negative? What are people going to make fun of me about? The second that we can start looking in the mirror, and no matter what you see, to be proud of who it is that you are, to know that you are capable of more abundant things that most people can never even fathom, to know that we are God's highest form of creation. This is self-talk. I'll give you another tip for self-talk. You ready? I don't know how many of you have ever taken the time to notice, right? Regardless of your religion or not, I believe no matter what you're going through, there's a verse that can relate to your life. I'm telling you right now, if you feel stressed out in your family, health, business, success, there's always going to be a quote. There's always going to be a revelation that you can go back and you can have as a mantra, right? Here's one of my mantras. I'll give you guys a couple of mine so you can start to get a feel for what it is that I'm talking about, right? Say you're going through a very heavy part of life. You feel like life is just raining down, life is pouring on you. And I actually have this in my car. It's called the little Bible book for men. It's all these amazing revelations inside and passages, right? Sticks with you for life. We can do all things that are possible. All things are possible for those that believe it, right? And you guys can drop down any that you can think of, but this is starting to understand self-talk. What are your mantras for yourself? Go ahead and drop some down below. What are some mantras down for yourself? And you'll be able to see the shift is huge. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next one. You ready? Here we go. Let's keep it pushing. The next one's going to be embracing neuroencoding, right? Neuroencoding. Believe it or not, everything that we do, our brain has an immediate reaction to go ahead and trigger into our body. And a lot of this comes from our past. A lot of this comes from trauma that we've had in our childhood. But this is big when you start to realize this, right? I'll give you an example. If we start to envision ourselves on stage, speaking on, right? Imagine yourself on stage. There's a curtain right here, and the curtain opens up, and you see this huge crowd. You hear the noise. You hear everybody screaming, and you can see your loved ones out there in the crowd, and they're looking at you, and you lock eye contact, and you can see the tear in their eyes because they know everything that you've grown through, everything that you've had to develop through day in and day out. And you're just sitting there and your whole body's vibrating. You're just sitting in absolute bliss because you know that you did it. You see the neuroencoding that I'm giving you right now, you probably feel a little bit lighter. Your body feels like you might be vibrating a little bit. Well, all of us have neuroencoding. And every day that we sit in a negative thought, that we sit in a negative state, guess what that does to our body? That neuroencoding, that cortisol, causes higher stress levels. Guess what that does to our body? That can create a whole myriad of different things. But I'm gonna tell you one of the easiest things it leads to. It leads to lack of action. It leads to lack of self-worth, lack of self-confidence. So being able to start knowing how powerful self-talk is, how powerful doing the deep work every day is, the morning rituals, the night routine, this is crucial because now we're starting to go ahead and rewire our neuroencoding. Instead of waking up every day and looking for what's wrong, what happened yesterday, what didn't work out in the past, now we're waking up being present. We're grateful to be alive. We're grateful for all the opportunity. We're grateful for all the miracles that we're expecting flowing to and through. It's just changing the perspective, right? So stick with me. I got a couple more for you. Mantra, my mind is beautiful. I love it. Start to think of some mantras as you guys grow through this too, as you go through this training. All right, here's the next piece. I got a couple more for you. Stick with me. 6 more. You ready? Building resilience. I got 6 more for you. Building resilience is going to be the next piece. Who knows, the first day that we get back into the gym, it might be a little bit tough. We might be complaining. The second day, we're super sore. The third day, we're like, oh, man, I don't know if I ever want to go back again. But once we heal up, we're like, I'm actually feeling really good. I've been eating better. I've been hitting the gym. I've been doing my morning routine. Now you start to get on a roll. Now we start to pick up what is called momentum, where you start to get to the point where it feels weird not to drink your shake in the morning, not to eat your fruit, not to eat your greens, not to study, not to read, not to do your night routine. This is called building resilience. Cedric said YOLO, right? I'll give you an example for YOLO. I used to think about that all the time. You only live once. Well, here's the truth. We actually live every day. We only die once. Had to shift that for a little bit. That gives a little bit of change of perspective, right? So building resilience. At the beginning, nothing we do is probably going to be picked up right away. I didn't pick up e-commerce right away. It took time. I had to put out a couple of products to go ahead and find the winner. When it came to trading, it took me getting on a demo account, getting on the Go Lives, learning the information, going through some trials, and actually growing as time went by, right? It took building resilience. If you go back and look at some of my first videos, oh man, was I stuttering. Didn't know exactly what I was doing. It took some time to go ahead and get better at it, but I built resilience, right? So every part of this business is about building resilience. I'd be lying to you if I were to come and tell you it's not going to take any resilience to do any part of this business. That's just the truth. You ready? So here's the next piece. 5 more. Stick with me. This is crucial. This is called the prosperity shift. Okay. Many in the building. Let's go. The prosperity shift is this right here. When we plant the seeds, when we water the seeds, as we water it, getting up every day, doing our routine, staying consistent, staying plugged in the chats, you don't always notice the shift right away, right? This isn't like a job where we do the work and we get paid. In this business, it has what's called a jet lag effect, right? You see, where it is that we're sitting right now is nothing but a reflection of not yesterday. It's a reflection of what it is that we've done the past 60 to 90 days. Look at your body right now. Our body is not a reflection of yesterday. Our body is a reflection of our habits, thoughts, and what we've been eating the past 60, 90 days. So Deanne lost 30 pounds. That's a reflection of the past 60 to 90 days. Lady Boss Nikki's been absolutely on it, right? So what does this come from? The past 60, 90 days. This comes from doing the work and doing the habits, right? So this is big. The prosperity shift. You start to get some ka-chings in the store. JoJo didn't see ka-chings right away in the store, but you know what happened? She started putting out listings. She started learning. She found some trial and errors, and guess what? There was one product, boom, took off. One product got over 100 sales. So it just goes to show, as we do the deep work, you never know when that time is coming. You never know when these blessings are ready to go ahead and pour in, but it takes having these hands open, ready to go ahead and receive the blessings, okay? So this is the prosperity shift. You can be putting out content consistently. People might not like, people might not comment, but guess what? One day somebody reaches out and says, you know what, yo, I've been watching your content for a year. Manny, I've been watching you stay consistent in the gym. I've been watching you get up early. You know what? I'm ready to go ahead and learn a new skill set. Send me the link. How do I go ahead and become a part of the dream team? Why? Because you stayed consistent to allow that shift to become possible through all of these steps, okay? So that's the prosperity shift. Now watch what happens these next couple of steps. Network matery, network mastery, right? You start to realize that at the end of the day, our network determines what? Our net worth. You start to realize that you just getting knowledge from one person like Kurt Cobain, we could have got those couple plays on these coins, these couple investments that changed the game for the rest of the summer, right? You start to realize that we got these couple products from Joey that completely shifted everything because he put out a blueprint, because he put out a fast start guide. So you start to see the power of a network, finding individuals who have the success that we're looking for in different areas of life. And guess what we have here? We have all of that. We have social media, e-commerce, mindset, stocks, you name it. We have education right here to be able to learn from. This is the power of building your network. When you start going outside, you're not afraid to talk to anybody because you know where that network could potentially lead to. That one connection, one call, Ed Milet talks about it. He wrote a whole book on it. The power of one more. One call, one push-up, right? One DM, one follow, one comment can completely change every one of our lives. So this is the power of one more. This is the power of building a network. Okay. Here's the next step. I'm almost done. I got 3 more for you. Continuous learning. Here's the next one. Continuous learning, right? Every day, believe it or not, we're a student. I'm 5, 6+ years inside of the industry, still paying for the Go Live, still excited to get access to the mentorship, still excited to get into these group chats and ask questions. Why? Because always a student. The second we know everything, I'm telling you, I've seen this so many times. The second we know everything, we know nothing. People think because they made a little bit of money, they made a little bit of success, that now they don't need to plug in. Now they don't need access to the mentors. Now they can just go off and go do their own thing. And you start to realize that, yeah, that's cool. That works. But here's the deal. You're going to get to a level. You're going to get to a plateau where you're going to see that even Albert Einstein, one of the smartest people to ever live, here's what he said. The same problems that happen to man cannot be solved by the same mind of the man. Think about that again. The same problems of man cannot be solved by the same mind of that man. So eventually we're going to hit a plateau. In order to get to new levels, what do we need? We're going to need new information, more mentorship, continue to be able to sharpen that sword. And if you didn't notice, the world turns every day. So what does that mean? The world is changing every day. Technology is changing every day. So just because we've mastered this right now, that doesn't mean we've mastered what's to come in the next 2 months, 4 months, right? Look at AI. Look at Midjourney. Imagine how many people thought they knew everything about e-commerce 6 months ago before Midjourney was created. Now there's millionaires being created with AI for those that are open-minded enough to continuously be a student, continuously be learning. That's why I'm always plugged in. E-commerce, you never know what the next nugget's going to be. DCX, you never know what the next coin's going to be that we're going to be investing into. So I can't emphasize enough how important it is to have an active package, to be really plugging into the mentorship that we have, because this is elite. Fam, I've spent a lot of money. I spend a lot of time around a lot of top 1% individuals. The access that we have is extremely, extremely exclusive and elite. I'm telling you. Some of our mentors are making 750,000 cheeseburgers a month. If you didn't know, now you know. A brain surgeon makes 400,000 a year. Let that sink in. What they make in a year, they make almost double that in a month. This is the power of access. Guess what? They're our age. Chris Terry is a billionaire. For those of you that don't know, right? We're a couple calls away from a billionaire. So talk about elite access, elite mentorship. I'll never take this for granted. I'm telling you. That's why they're telling you. When you know, you know. The power of your network is your net worth. Changes life forever. Okay. What do I got? I got 2 more for you. Legacy and service. Okay. Robin Sharma talks about how there's 2 types of people. There's somebody that chases the currency, chases the money, and there's somebody that chases a legacy, somebody that goes after a legacy. Well, you'll start to learn eventually the currency. Yeah, we can make a lot of money. We can have the yachts, we can have the $1 billion mansion, but how many people are actually going to talk about us positively once we pass? How many people did we genuinely affect by our existence, by our value, by our story, by our voice? You see, a legacy is completely different. A legacy is having your last name ring for decades. A legacy is being able to have your income, being able to touch your children, your children's children. Generational wealth is what they call that. That's a legacy. You know why so many people don't know who your great-great-grandfather is? Because they did not do enough to go ahead and leave a lasting legacy that was memorable enough. And here's the deal. It's not their problem, but it is their fault. Every one of us have the opportunity. No matter where we're born, no matter where it is that we come from, there's people in third world countries making 6 figures, not a year, making 6 figures a month. Why? They're open to new opportunity. They're open to learning. They're open to find mentorship. But then we have people in the US who are complaining. Oh, it's so hard. Oh, I'm struggling so much. But yet they're not learning to learn something new. They're not ready to go ahead and do something different. Every time somebody talks about learning new skills, they say, nah, I know everything. They're not coachable. They're not teachable. So this is the difference, right? Legacy comes down to being able to go ahead and being selfish so we can go out and be selfless. Become the best version of ourselves so we can inspire others to do the same. And as Jim Rose says, what does he say? Service to many leads to greatness. That's what they say. A closed mind is one of the most expensive things that we can own. We got to be open-minded. So crucial. And here's the last one. Here's the last but not least. Ready? Return and renewal. Return and renewal. Legacy. This is when your name lives on. And guess what? Your messages, your teachings, your value is able to go ahead and live on, and your name never dies. People talk about you long after you're gone. Think about it, right? Even the power of residual income. If people knew the power of residual income, they would run through brick walls to go ahead and get it. I'll give you an example, right? Kobe Bryant's going to make more on his shoes this year past than most people are going to go make in the next 50 years. Why? Because of the legacy and the value that he's been able to leave. And look at the ripple effect that happens even after he's gone. Look at the teachings. People are still using the Mamba mentality long after he's gone. Return and renewal, right? So what legacy, what value are we going to be able to leave so other people can go ahead and become renewed and return to their highest self with our message? So dreamers, that's my message for today. This is a little sneak peek of what you guys are going to see coming for our mentor this weekend. So pay attention, get ready. This is going to be huge. Or I'm sorry, it's asking me next weekend. I'm going to send out the link, but I'm telling you, this is a training you don't want to miss. With that being said, I love you all. This is the journey of stepping into the hero, not outside, but the hero that's within. Yes, believe it. We're the superstar of our own movie. So Dream Team, with that being said, I love you. I'm proud of you. I'm so excited to see the hero go ahead and come out. Let's go out and have an abundant rest of the month. I love you guys. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Mamba mentality, we're being dreams to reality. Drop some 5s down below. You guys got a little bit of value from today. Smash that like button, and let's go out and dominate the month of August. Go ahead and run your story, family. It's time.